Welcome to Gandhi Talk Shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
Welcome to Ngozi Talk Shows, everyone. For those who are here for the first time, at Ngozi Talk Shows, we talk about all different topics from all walks of life. And we talk about everything, really. So if you are looking forward to find your own voice and lead from within, you are in the right place. With me today is Carol Ann Cooper. Carol Ann Cooper, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hello and good afternoon from London, UK. And as the writing facilitator, what I do is I support women to shine by getting their story written, because you cannot publish what isn't written. And it's actually through your writing your story that you can shift things, you can experience a healing, and it's about unlocking the writer within. And all of this has come about through my own journey of unlocking the writer within. So I'm Carol Ann, the writing facilitator. Thanks, Namsa.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So our topic today is how to contribute to the world and be the changer you want, in the change you want to see in the world. And Carol Ann, you chose this topic. Please, can you explain to our audience why did you choose this topic?
Yes, it's really the phrase that came to my mind is, how can you be the change that you want to see in the world? And yes, so I like the other question that's there, that's how can you contribute to creating the change you want to see in the world? And for me, people are always talking about they want to change this and they want to change that, and they're not happy with what they're seeing in the world, and there's a lot of complaints that go on. But actually, it's quite simple. And I get that the change that I would love to see in the world is where people look to themselves. They look inward and they realize that actually there's a huge amount that they can contribute, but they're always looking out. Well, what can I do? What can I do? And it's always outward actions, or wanting to change a situation, or wanting to change another person, when actually the one person they can change is themselves. The one situation they can change is that is within them. And it is realizing that there is that reflection. So yeah, that's why I just love this topic and this idea, and would just like to explore it even more and really help people to start thinking about what is the change that they want to see in the world, especially right now when we've got the war going on, and say a war, the one that is taking over the news at the moment. But there are so many other wars going on, so many other conflicts that are going on still, but we don't hear about those, because it's like all of a sudden this is what we hear about. But they keep going on, and they keep causing people to be displaced from where they live. And it's causing a lot of pain and a lot of hardship for people, but it's impacting other people in terms of how they feel about that. It upsets them because they feel, oh, what can I do to support this? The one thing you can really do to support this is actually pray, is actually send out love, is actually get together with other people and focus on where is the conflict within you? Where is that war going on inside of you? And resolve that. And then ask, okay, so what are some practical actions I could take? Because, as I've read the other day, some people, they dive in and they want to give, and they actually create more problems with the amount of stuff that is sent than actually they help. Because a lot of stuff isn't what's needed. And so it's really been able to step back and really get clear on what is the help that can be given. So yeah, that's where this all came about. And let's sort of be that change. Look to ourselves, and where in our lives are these conflicts showing up? So what about you, Nom? So what did you think when you saw the title?
I actually thought about, like when you say look within inward instead of trying to change other people. I thought about that as well, that if we really want to be changed in life, because even it's like a relationship with everything. If you want to have a fulfillment in that relationship, you have to change yourself. You have to be the one that does the work, and everything else falls into place, instead of um, having a relationship with someone and then thinking that, okay, this person is wrong for me, but I'm gonna create them how I want. So it doesn't work. You create conflicts. And even with the war, I do understand that, yes, there are some things that are going on in the world that we don't hear about. And now the war in Ukraine and Russia, that's what has taken over the news now. But I have to say that I was actually really amazed how British people, they responded, um, going to war, going to Ukraine, and I was watching them on YouTube. They don't have experience. They've never been to a war. Some of them have, but some of them they haven't. But because they want to see the change in the world, so they were actually leaving their families behind, and they were being interviewed. How does your families feel with you guys going to Ukraine? And they were like, they're not happy, but we've got to go and help, because obviously they want to see the change. They don't want to see the war. They don't want to see the fight. They want peace. So they believe that they have to go and help. So I think that's what life is about. If you really, really need to change, is to see the change in the world. You have to look at the world and see what can you do to contribute yourself, in order for you to add value in the society, to add value in the world. And once you basically work on that, and what are the habits that are stopping you basically moving forward, creating the things that you want to do, you want to create. So you have to work on those habits, and the bad habit and the good one, and you keep them, and then you get on with it, and not waiting for people to affirm who you want to become, because at the end of the day, you want that change, so you have to take action. Your family are not going to take action for you. Your friends are not going to take action for you. Their job basically for them is they're there to protect you. So they're going to say no to any decision that sounds scary. So you have to be the one that takes action. And that's all I can say for now. And I will say to those who went to Ukraine, well done, guys. I watch them all the time on YouTube, and I just see people like they're not talking about it; they're taking action, borrowing the the basically material to go and protect Ukraine and just living in there like we don't know whether we're gonna come back. And that is wanting the world. They have a picture of the world that they want to see. So they are putting their lives on the line to say, this is the world that we want to see, and this is what we're gonna fight for that. So I think that is awesome. Over to you, Carol.
Yeah, going to fight for that. I think we need to look at the word fight. Because at the moment there's a war. Is it about fighting for it, or is it about being a stand for it? Because
They're standing for what they
fighting
believe in.
perpetuates fighting. It doesn't resolve anything, but it is about being a stand for it, isn't it? It's standing up and saying, I'm going to do something. This is what I want. But for me, it's not about fighting, because if you go in and fight, you're only perpetuating what's already there. That energy of fighting perpetuates the whole thing. And if you want peace and you want reconciliation, then that is a completely different energy level, completely different vibration. There is no fight in that. It's just a stand for having that. So I think we need to look at where we're standing and how we're feeling and how we're reacting and what vibrational level we're vibrating at. And it was interesting. I was looking up around this this topic, and we've always been told that Gandhi says, be the change that you want to see in the world. And actually, I read somewhere that he never actually said those words. It was paraphrased from a speech that he made, or something else that he said. And when I read it, I was thinking, wow, it's even deeper than that little quote. And what he actually said was, we but mirror the world. All the tendencies present in the outer world are to be found in the world of our body. If we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change. As a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards him. This is the divine mystery supreme. A wonderful thing it is, and the source of our happiness. We need not wait to see what others do. That's, for me, does go deeper. And it is about going in and looking inside. Because when you can change what's inside you, the outer world changes. And also, I read a story which I've read before about Gandhi as well. This lady came with her son, and she was saying, can you have a word with him because he eats too much sugar? And Gandhi sent her away and said, come back in 2 weeks' time. When she came back in 2 weeks' time, he had a word with the son, and they were smiling, and the woman was saying, thank you, but why did I have to go away for 2 weeks and come back? And Gandhi said, well, I couldn't give any advice then because I was eating sugar. So he took that time to stop eating sugar, so he could then actually have those words with that lady's son. So again, there, can you see, can you hear? If you want to tell people to do something, you want to suggest something to them, if you aren't doing it yourself, that energy is not in alignment. You are not being authentic, and the vibrational level is not the same. And it's interesting because I always remember my parents saying it's a case of do what I say, not what I do. And that always felt a little bit, it niggled me. And I wonder how many other people can remember or have had that said to them. But actually, we need to practice what we preach. We need to do what we're telling others to do. And while I was in the shower this morning, it was going round in my head. And I suddenly went, oh, boom, big light bulb moment. I'm telling people to write their story because it's the one story that's really important. It will have an impact on their business, and there's huge benefits from writing it, not just in terms of boosting their business, but also in the healing process for themselves. And I found myself thinking, Carol Ann, where are you in writing your story? Have you written it yet? And this other one went, oh gosh, no. So again, it's a beautiful prompt for me to write my story. And because actually my book, what have I done with, yes, I keep it around here to keep reminding me to pick up and get it completed because it started. But the title is Lead with Your Story. The 7 keys to leverage the power of your story and turn your life and business around. So I'm sitting wanting to turn things around, and I'm saying this, and I'm still not getting into finishing this book and writing my story because this book actually will have my story in it, which is something I hadn't realized in the beginning. So yeah, I take it on, I hear it, and the power is when you hear it in yourself and you can shift that perspective within yourself and you're telling yourself the message. That is what then prompts you to take the action so that you can then change yourself. No amount of other people telling you. So that's where I'm at with this. And I'm going, okay, I get the message, Lord. Thank you. Yeah, so how many of you maybe can hear something in that story? Maybe something that you're expecting of other people, but you haven't quite done it for yourself yet. What about you, Nomsa? What do you hear in that?
I hear that attitude is everything. Basically, if you want to change the world, and self-beliefs and discipline. So I think you are right there, Carol Ann, and you also touch that we don't have to wait for others to actually to tell us what to do if we want to change. And this woman that was sent away because God knew that he couldn't help somebody if he was struggling in that situation, so he had to be disciplined himself in order to help this other person. I think that's what the energy is about, that if you really want to help somebody, you can help someone else, and you can help someone as long as you understand the process of you have done it yourself, so you can help someone else, and you have to have the right attitude. I do understand where you're coming from when you say you are writing your book, and you're basically facilitating people to write their own story, and making sure that they get their story out there through writing their books and businesses, and people are being successful, and now you're questioning yourself that where is mine, and which is good because you have started it as well, and you know that one day you'll be saying, here is my story as well that I have written. So, but the thing is, just taking that step, helping other people, that is a big step. And having the courage is having the courage to say, I'm gonna add value to the world, because you are adding value. Businesses are being created by your knowledge and your skills, and which is some people basically they find it hard to even take one step to learn the skills or to actually have the courage to take baby step and learn some things so they can be who they want to be. And some people want people to affirm who they could be. But for me, basically, I thank God for the life that I had with my parents, that they taught me so many things, that if you want to succeed in life, you have to take action. No one else will do it for you. You don't have to wait for people to affirm who you want to be or affirm your destination. And for me, basically, is God. If I want to do something and I see that I could add value in this situation, I just pray to God and say, show me the way. The how is gonna happen after show me the way, and I just get on with it. And I find it does work. And sometimes I find people that really are happy to encourage. They'll be encouraging me to say, go for it. And even like you're talking about the attitude, that whatever you do, everything has to align with what you want to do, your character and everything. So I think there are some people that really want to change the world and they are talented, but you'll find them saying, I don't think people will take me serious. But at the end of the day, no one will take you serious if you have not started that whatever you want to do. So you have to do it, even if it means making mistakes from the beginning. You have to do it, because doing something good for the world is starting by making mistakes. You have to start by making mistakes, and you learn from your mistakes. And there are some people who basically help through charities. You can help in so many ways, adding value to the world by volunteering to charities, and look at the charities, what do they offer, and how do you relate with that charity. Some people, it could be cancer charity, it could be any charity that helps people, and just get involved and volunteer your time, even 1 hour. I do. I used to work at this charity before lockdown, but unfortunately they don't have enough staff now, so they are closing. They are closed Sundays and Monday. So I used to help on Sundays, just for 1 hour. I used to go in and help out. So they, after lockdown, they closed because they don't have enough staff, and people that were working there had underlying problems. So I keep checking them out and check if they are opening again. They're like, yeah, Nomsa, we are reopening again. We are getting in the process of getting this stuff in for Monday. And then once we get people on Monday, then it will be Sunday. So I'm like, yeah, don't forget me, because I want to add value to my community. And I'm not doing it for recognition. I'm not doing it for anything. I'm just doing it for the love of, because I want to, if I want to see the children, uh, like disabled children, having those facilities that can help them live a free life and be happy. So I have to do something. So that's what I do. I was like, I want to go back. I've been there since 2010. So I was like, I want to go back. Please do let me know. So it doesn't have to be something big. You can change the world by volunteering or by doing so many things. And there's so many people around this world. You know where I get my ideas from? I get my ideas from my friends who are scared. to do things. And when we are chatting, we chat and they give me ideas. So I'm like, but why are you not doing this? So they give me ideas of what I could do, how I could improve. And for them, they're scared of taking that action because sometimes it's like some of my friends, they didn't grow up here. They came from different cultures, different countries, and they feel that they're going to be judged and no one is going to take you serious. But then I'm saying to them, you have to take you serious. For somebody else to take you serious, you yourself have to take you serious for whatever you want to do. And once you believe in you and believe in the things that you want to do, then someone else will be able to believe in you. Like right now, you have your retreat, and I'm believing in that retreat myself because I can see that you're excited and it is something that you're passionate about and you want to do it. So it makes me believe in you. So that's what life is about. You're gonna get there and you're gonna add value to somebody, and somebody's life is going to change just because God has put you there, Carol Anna, to actually help them. So that's what I believe. I believe that if you really, really want to change, you want to see the change, you have to look at your own life within, like you were saying, and just write down your goals, how write down your goals. Money doesn't matter. Some people always say, I don't have money, I can't do this. Money is something that you think about later. You have to have the products, you have to have something in order for money to actually appear. Because once you have something, or you have an idea that this is how I'm going to do it, you've done some research, then money comes natural. Because if you don't have a plan of how are you gonna do this or the action, or don't have an idea, so you can't think about money. Some people think about money first. I used to do that as well. Think about the money first. Like, I need to have money before I can do this. But then now I'm realizing that's not the case.
Mhm. Awesome. I love what you were saying about adding value to the world, to people's lives, and actually just got me thinking just then about, as you're saying, about my retreat, my writing retreat, and it is adding value to other people's lives. It's making a difference in their life. It will shift that turmoil that's within them about getting their story written, and in so doing, it helps to shift that energy and the turmoil into something that's more peaceful and fluid and flowing. And so in that respect, I'm contributing to creating that peace that I'd love to see in the world. And sometimes we lose sight of that. So thank you for bringing that in, Namsa, because we're so outward focused and thinking, oh, by continuing my business, that's not supporting, that's not helping. Well, actually, by withdrawing that help and support to other people and adding that value, you aren't making the difference that you want to make in the world. You know, sort of going out and attempting to focus outside of that. So, you know, it's having a balance of both, but recognizing, continuing to do your work where you're adding value to other people's lives and shifting things for them is contributing. And actually, what you were saying about volunteering, there's other ways you can volunteer. Yes, you can volunteer at charities, but there's also events that you can volunteer at. I've volunteered at many events over the years. I've supported, because I believe in supporting other people to learn, to be able to learn, to open their minds to new possibilities. And so being able to be supporting those sorts of events and people's transformation has been, it's been really magical, actually, that it's still volunteering my time to do that. So there are different ways in which you can support and volunteer. As you hear the word volunteer, it's just charitable work. Volunteering and supporting at someone's event is actually, I've come to realize it's more than that. It's actually assisting, because you're not just helping, you're assisting, you're supporting. And I think that's an important word that's there, and assisting. So just maybe get those distinctions there. It's not about just helping. And when you volunteer, even at with a charity, it's more than just helping. You're not being a crutch, to sort of hold someone up. You are assisting to add value, to make a difference to them, and supporting them in being able to stand on their own 2 feet and find ways of improving their life. So it's just a slight difference with wording there. Look at, shift that wording and how you look at it. But when you say about make mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and you grow from those mistakes. And that thought, I don't think people will take me seriously, can also stop you in your tracks. Well, there's a beautiful quote that I've got. I read. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. So when you're attempting to bring in some new ideas, know that it will fall on deaf ears at first. But the key is just to keep persisting. Be consistent with your message, and also show up as your message. Because, maybe they'll just start laughing at you and going, oh, that's rubbish. And then they'll start arguing with you and fighting you. But if you are persistent, you will come over. They will start turning around and going, oh, you will start winning. And so maybe to go through that process, go inside. What part of you is ignoring you as you're saying, that change you want to be, or what you're wanting to bring into the world? What part of you is ignoring you? And work with that part, and recognize where that part then starts laughing at you, starts fighting you. It's that voice says, oh, for heaven's sakes, this is ridiculous. It's not going to work. It's rubbish, and questioning, and, where's that voice in you? And be persistent in answering it, facing up to it, and clearing it, transforming it. Because eventually that inside of you will go, and the part of you that's wanting to bring in these new ideas will start winning. And once that happens, you will notice out there in the world exactly the same thing. So if your business isn't going the way you want it, what is it you're noticing in the world? What is it you're noticing? People's reactions. Are they ignoring you? So go in. Part of you is ignoring your business and what you're saying about your business. Are they dismissing you? Are they laughing at you? Again, go in. Are they criticizing you and questioning you and fighting you about it? Go in. Until all of that is resolved, and then notice what shifts with your business. And that also can relate to your writing. And that's where I work. with writing, because writing was not my first love. I wouldn't say it's a love at the moment. I'm getting there. I'm learning to love it. I'm finding a way of loving it. And for me, maths is my first love. I was a maths teacher. I love maths. I still love maths. And it's bringing that passion and that love to writing. It's finding that within writing, within words, the same way that I love exploring and playing with numbers. Do the same with words. And that's starting to shift. So the more I work on that, the more I can be heard, the more I know that my business will start taking off in a different way. So, and my writing, because there is a part of me that I am fighting with at the moment that's going, oh, can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. This is beyond me. No, can't do this. So I'm in the middle of that tussle. I'm working with that at the moment, and it's here. I can feel it. And as I work with that, the last few days, I found myself writing some things that I was putting off writing. Because it was like part of me just went, oh, can't do this, can't do this. And then all of a sudden, having worked with it, I just do it. There is no thought. There is no, oh, let me do this. It just happens. And that's what I love. It's just a peaceful action taking that actually creates joy and happiness. So do keep looking inwards, but look outside for the mirror, the reflection. What is it that you could be looking inward to change? So is there anything that resonates with you here, Namsa?
I like it when you talk about people we ignore. Is it the first one, people will ignore you? And then they will fight you. Is it the next one?
No, they'll laugh at you.
They will laugh at you, and then they'll fight you, and then what's the next one?
Then you win.
When you win.
Yes.
Okay, I love that, because I think that's what I went through when I started my business, and people were ignoring me. And I remember they used to go to my website and they would tell me what was wrong with my website. You know, like what I said in from the beginning, that you're gonna have to take action, even if you make mistakes along the way. You learn from that. It wasn't a mistake with my website. It was just like the person that was building the website, she actually built the website, and then the website, I didn't like it, and then somebody else took over. So she let the website go live the way it was. She didn't take it down, but she was actually changing things bit by bit, where the phone number, where she put the phone number. I think there was no phone number. She didn't put the phone number because she was in the process of changing everything. So I remember one of my friends calling me at 2 a.m. telling me what was wrong with the website, and I was like, I'm sleeping, and then you're calling me. The website is because that girl was in India. So by the time I woke up to go and check the website, the phone number was already there. She was actually online. She had removed the phone number to change the color. So, and people laughing, it was good on social media. I remember when I posted something at my page, Hope Springs Channeling Production Agency, and somebody said to me, made a comment, somebody that I've never met. He was like, I'm a social media manager, and I think you shouldn't post different pictures. You should post same pictures every day. And which I've not seen it to anyone's page or people posting same pictures all the time. And I was like, okay, I didn't get angry or anything. I was like, okay. And which he helped me, because he made me look at the social media events. So that's when I ended up with the Andy Harrington and someone else, Simon. He was doing social media events that day. So by just commenting, it made me want to take action and say, okay, let me go and see how does this social media, because at first I did have meetings with people and they were telling me, I'll do this for you, manage your social media, but it will cost you £700 a month. And I was like, that sounds like a lot of money if you're not going to give me customers just to post. I was like, it sounds a lot of money. And then I had to go and do the training. And the training, when I was doing the training, it had nothing to do with the comments that people were telling me that there was social media market thing. It was completely different. I've learned so much. And that's why my social media is the way it is, because I went and learned so much. And when I learned so much, I came back and I implemented it. But then I realized that actually, if I'm actually posting myself for social media, it would take me about 20 minutes or 10 minutes to post it on all my social media. And that would be it for the day. And I was like, okay, I can't afford. I've just started because when you start your business, you have to, there's some cost that you have to avoid in order for you to grow. There are some small things that you can do yourself. There are some small things that you can go on the website, the virtual assistant. They're cheap, they're not expensive. And FIFA website, and ask people to actually help you. They can create really good stuff for maybe $5 or $10 or $20. So when I went for the training, those were the information that I got, and I came back, I implemented it, and I was like, through that journey, if somebody was to start a business now, I know I'll be able to actually help them because I've gone through that process and without fear. And there were times where I was like, this is exhausting, where people like laughing and sometimes people ignoring, and sometimes people saying comments that basically that are hurtful, but I didn't stop. I had to keep going, eliminating everything that I knew that wasn't helping, and friends that were basically discouraging me. I had to leave them behind, and not like getting angry, just leave them behind and just they'll follow me later. I was like, they'll follow me later because right now I really need to build my business. And I did build it, and somebody can come in and look at the brand, and like now what I get is, I love your brand. I get so many people on LinkedIn saying, I love your brand. And I was like, okay, it's the process. So I'm like, thank God for giving me the courage and the strength to go on. And I say this to people, some people that are watching, because you might want to start something, and like the list that Carol Anna has just given us, that people ignore you, people will laugh, they'll fight, and you win. It's a process. Everything you do in life is a process. You have to have the spirit of winning and the spirit of encouragement. You have to hold on to some beliefs that can keep you going. In order for you to get to where you need to go, so you can bring the change. For me, the spirit that I have is God. When somebody tells me what I do is not enough, I just hold on to God and say, God, what do I need to do? And He will send the angels to me. When I'm struggling with something, He will send somebody that will come and help me. And because I'm a grateful person, so I appreciate people that enter in my life and really wanting to add value and wanting to show me how things are done. And if there is someone who is watching, just do the same, take action. Don't worry about people laughing. People will always laugh. And like when I was looking for you guys at Goes the Talk Show to come and join in Goes the Talk Show, it was then a Legacy Wealth Talk before before my friends decided they didn't want to do it. And you guys joined, but some people were laughing. They were like, I remember there was this woman in the group where I actually, when I put the message, and she was like, don't even make me start because I'm just going to laugh with the talk show. So I was like, oh, okay. Because when people are building something, people think about the audience. How big the audience do you have? When they are doing something, they think about the audience, but that what they don't understand is you have to start somewhere. For somebody to believe you and follow you, you have to start somewhere. So some people were like, you don't have enough audience for me basically to come and join me. And I was like, okay. So, but for you to begin, for me to begin, I have to I have to play my part for somebody to actually say, Noms, I believe in your message. So I was like, you don't get just audience, you get thousands and thousands, millions of followers for doing nothing. I was like, you have to do the work. And you guys came and you believed in the message that we were doing, and you just stuck it in and just get on with it, and people were laughing. And but now I started my business 2018. I've got 6 awards, which is I've learned how to do it. People recommend me, like the award that we just won now. It was done anonymously. The guy just called me and said, we basically been following you behind your back on your social medias and your work and stuff. So we decided to give you the award. Uh, Company of the Year. So I was like, how are you stalking me? And he was like, no, sir, never underestimate who is watching you when you're working. So I was really happy and to know that basically there are some people who are watching who take you serious with what you do. So over to you, Carol Ann.
Oh, I love that. Never underestimate who is watching you.
Yes, whatever
That's
you're doing now. Yeah, you never know who is
you
watching.
just never know. That's right, and you never know what might happen. And you know, it's brilliant. You won 6 awards, and you say that last one was just out of the blue because somebody has been watching you because you've been showing up consistently.
Yeah,
And that is the key, isn't it? It's that persistence. It's that willing to start and to start somewhere, even though people go, oh, you know, you haven't got enough, or what, you know, listeners or followers or whatever. You've got to start and build it and have that confidence and courage to just do it and make mistakes, learn from it, because it's only feedback. And as Clinton Swain says, feedback is the breakfast of champions. So it's just, you know, welcoming the feedback and whatever the feedback is, and then growing from there. And sometimes we do actually push away positive feedback.
yeah.
We go, oh, you know, it's sort of, oh, well, embrace that as well. Because if you can embrace that and acknowledge that, that will help you grow even more. But where there's some criticism, it's just going, okay, take it on board, listen to it, and go, how can I grow from this? What's actually being said here? And also keep remembering, it is not the truth. It's someone else's truth. So you don't need to take it personally. You don't need to, you know, recognize when you go, oh, I don't like that, and where you feel injured or put down or criticized in a way that upsets you. There is the learning. There is the big potential for you to grow. Because I had someone reply to a message that I'd sent out, and they just put this little frowny face on it, and then just sent me a message and said, oh, I do this, and here's my group, you know. And I remember looking at this frowny face, and I felt upsetting. So not so much upset as sort of, it nearly stopped me from continuing with what I was doing. And then I read this quote from Maya Angelou that I got stuck on my laptop. I found it says, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. And that just helped me just to breathe. And okay. So I just responded and just said, thank you. I can't remember exactly what I said, but thank you, for getting back to me or letting me know. And then I put, I'm sorry if the way I reached out to you caused you to frown, but it actually caused me to look at your business. Best wishes, and And the response that I got back was beautiful. I could feel a shift in it. It was just this LOL, if I can support you or help you in any way, let me know. And just their initials with a little X. And it's so different, so it is how you respond or react can shift things, can make that difference. Because I could have just left it with that. It could have stopped me continuing what I was doing. I could have reacted in a different way that would have prompted, I could have put another frowny face and you continue to frown at each other. Where does that get you? People remember how you make them feel. So now, I now remember that person because I feel different. I feel, excited, and I just continue the conversation, So do recognize that feedback. It's the breakfast of champions. So are you aiming to be a champion or not? Is the question. But one of the other things I keep saying, but I keep hearing myself say, but. Am I saying but? I need to listen back. And see the good in people. Acknowledge them. That's something else you said, Nomsa. And I went, yes. And another quote I heard from Gandhi is, I suppose leadership one time meant muscles, but today it means getting along with people. So what sort of leader are you? One that imposes it, through physical action and muscles and control? Or are you somebody that gets along with people and encourages them, supports them, empowers them, and leads the way? And so you sort of rally people around you towards a common outcome, towards a common goal, to something that you all want to achieve. And I think that's the nature of leadership today. And that's, if you can be that sort of leader, because that's the change you want to see in the world, that will also have that impact on, are you the sort of leader that goes to war, to control, to impose your power on other people? Or are you somebody that finds a way of working with them, promoting goodwill? And as I say, I love that word rally. You're right, because of there's some way rallying them towards a common goal in a healthy way, in a positive way. So yeah, really look at how are you being as a leader? Who are you being as a leader? Because we're all leaders in various ways, which, as we said the other day when we were talking about leadership. So it's amazing how all of these conversations tie in together, isn't it?
Yes,
In
they
little
all
bits.
together.
It's gorgeous. It really is. So belief. What are your beliefs? And you mentioned, Nomsa, about beliefs. Again, so it's looking at your beliefs. And as you were talking, I just suddenly, one popped in my head that it's been there for I think it's been there all my life. And it's been more and more, I've heard it more and been aware of it more. And I've become even more aware of this hold that it's got on me, because if you have a belief, then you have to be right. So you create it such that that belief happens.
Yeah.
And something that I'd always heard all my life, it takes a long time to do something, or there's not enough time. And that is playing out for me at the moment. And I'm suddenly aware that, I'm creating again a shortage of time. And I'm thinking, there's not enough time. And I'm hearing other people say, there's not much time. You need a lot of time. So I need to listen to that voice, and I need to shift that voice, give it a different perspective, because actually, is that true? Something could just change at the flick of a switch. Did that take much time? No. So there's a belief there for me to shift, that actually something can just shift in a conversation. And it is through having conversations, conversations that you dance in, rather than conflicting or pushing your ideas on somebody. It's about dancing in the conversation. And through those conversations, all of a sudden, something can change. Something can shift into reality and happen. And it's like, that didn't take much time. The time was the amount of time that you dilly-dallied up to having that conversation. That's why it took time. And that's why you're then still sat with that belief. It takes time. And, I don't have enough time. And, all of a sudden time runs out because you've allowed it to. So it's recognizing where you've allowed something to happen because of an inner belief, a limiting belief.
Yeah.
And transform that. Yeah. I can hear that's resonating with you. Yeah.
Oh yes, I think I spend my time getting rid of limiting beliefs, and I always say to people always say, like sometimes they'll say, speak to someone about this. I'm like, you can't convince someone to change their beliefs. And I look at myself, how I have had to actually have the courage to actually be the person that I am today, is because having the courage to admit when I'm wrong, and having the courage when I see that I have a belief that is not taking me anywhere. And I say to people, it takes loads of courage to actually wanting to change. It does not take somebody non-stop doing some pep talks. It takes a lot for somebody to say, you know what, I'm going to get rid of these beliefs, and I'm going to be the person that I want to be. And so I agree with you, Carol Ann. You have to understand your values and your beliefs, and be somebody who is willing to learn new skills and unlearn things that don't serve you anymore. And also the critiques. See, I get good with the branding because of people criticizing. I love those who love to criticize. Honestly, when somebody criticizes me, I always look at put my shoes in their shoes. Sometimes people, not every person that criticizes, it needs changing, but sometimes people criticize because they can. But there are some people who really give you a genuine critiques because they want you to be better and they want you to change. So when somebody like that comes to me and give me a criticize, I always look at the situation, and sometimes people will come in and say, go and look at this person. And when I look at them when they're doing events, then I'm learning from there. So it's actually, it takes courage. So if you want to basically be the changer that you want to see in the world, it takes courage, and it takes courage to admit that, you know what, I'm going to ask someone who knows these skills to teach me or to come and help me. So, and you can do it. If you want to, you can do it. Just put your egos on the side and just be the person that is willing to learn and just go further in life. So,
Absolutely. And yeah, it's just allowing it, it's having that courage to face the
yeah,
demons,
yeah.
and you don't need to do it on your own.
No, you don't.
We're here, reach out, ask for some support, because attempting to do it on your own, that is what can cause you to take time, but also not help you to shift, because sometimes it can be so stuck. And so reach out, just make that decision and say, I'm going to transform this, and reach out and just ask for some support and guidance. Just say what's happening and ask, and reaching out to us, but also praying, as you say, Namsa. It's something I do as well. Ask for that support, be specific, but also give gratitude. Remember to be grateful for what you have been given, for people that have shown up, for
Yeah.
what you have got. So be grateful, say thank you, and then also make the request. So it's about willing to receive as well as ask. And so what I'd just like to leave you with is remembering it's all about being in the moment. If you take care of right now, this moment, because that's all you can actually do, is take care of this moment and this moment and this moment. So just take care of each moment and be present, and then you will notice and see things shifting around you, and you'll feel different as well. So and smile. As somebody that I'm working with, she suggested putting smiley faces around, acknowledging things, but put smiley faces. So I started now and again, put a little smiley face somewhere as a reminder. Just feel that smile. And then another time, let me put another smiley face there. So bring joy into your life. But remember, it's about being in the moment.
Thank you so much, Carol Ann. And for me, I leave you with this: just be the creator of the change that you want to see in this world. And please, if you have not done so, subscribe to our channel and follow us on all our social medias. And like Carol Ann says, we are here. If you need us, you can go to the website Hope Springs Tenant Introduction Agency and send us a message. Or if you want to connect with any of the speakers, just send me an email and I'll connect you with whoever you want to connect with. Have a beautiful weekend, everyone. God bless you and live with grace.
Bye.